right, let's get started. I'm ready to get started. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. How are you? It's Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/Hal Sparks. Also, memberships on YouTube, etc., etc. All the stuff I forget to say because I'm too busy doing the show. And speaking of doing the show, hi, chat room. Thanks for doing the show. Oh, my overhead light is on again. This is what happens when I work in the office for long periods of time after the show is over. And sometimes during the show. Streamlabs is becoming self-aware. I turned down the standards on it, so it should leave most people alone. I am really live, Shell. Although, I guess AI would say the same thing just to fuck with Tim Pool. So, yes. I did have time to go out and have grab a Dutch Brothers and also have my ear chewed by the lovely and talented Cliff Schechter today. We had a nice long conversation about how much more businesslike I should be, which is good because somebody needs to be on me about that shit, and I'm terrible. I'm terrible at it. I'm so busy doing the show, I forget to sell the show and push the show and that kind of stuff. So all I'm saying is, look, if this was a real cult, I would just outsource it to you guys. So get at it. Share it around. Okay, so that said, where are we? Here we go. Boink. Like, subscribe, etc. What I already said that. Okay, good. So the couple of things right out of the gate. I spoke a little bit this morning in the extended morning show. If you didn't catch it, it's a lot of fun at the tail end about the ridiculousness about the drone panic. Straight up, Chinese weather balloon nonsense, or Chinese spy balloon. It was 6 of one, half dozen of another, really. But so same panic, same people, same everything, except I guess the extraordinary nature of the claims is through the roof. We have a couple of people referencing it in clips that have come out in the last 24 hours. That won't surprise you. Not the least of which are our old friends over at Flashpoint. We got, I don't know these guys. That's Pete Hegseth, Trump's favorite drunk right now. I guess everybody should have one. Mine isn't. Pete Hegseth. Just saying. This is, in case you don't know, I don't know who the two guys in the middle are. I guess we'll find out. On the far corner over here with the arrow on his nose. Boink, boink. That's Gene, the Jesus machine. The guy who apparently is the guy who's teaching Trump how to fake being Christian. That's like his job, apparently. Like how to be completely full of shit and live your life in an antithetical way to how Jesus would intend, while appearing at the same time to look like, I don't know, someone who was kicked off the Home Shopping Network and fell into the Copeland Ministries site. Also, real quick, is it on here? Where is it? Oh, yeah. We'll get to this one in a minute, too. That's Tom Homan. You'll see why. Well, the title of this one, stay tuned, is why I'm excited to cover it. But meanwhile, we won't cover all this. I just need to hear we'll see if it's the dumbest take or the second dumbest take on the dronage, besides like Representative Andrews from New Jersey, the guy who actually said there's a mothership and that we're 10 years behind Iran and China in drone technology. Oh, God. All right, here we go.
All right, let's some big news that has happened. I know if
Huge.
you can, if you had your phone on at all, you.
Yeah. Obviously, people have been calling me. Yeah.
Heard about drones.
I have. I've heard that you tend to drone on and on. That your network has a lot of people that drone on and on.
In New Jersey?
Fuck you, Jersey.
Watch this Fox report. We'll be right back.
In focus now, Republican Congressman
This asshole. They're doubling down.
Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, member
Jeff Van Drew. Sorry, I thought his name was Jeff Andrews. I don't care.
Of the House Judiciary Committee on the Hill right now.
And also Jeff Sessions' stunt elf when Keebler is behind on cookies.
How do you address this at this point?
Well, here's the real deal, Harris. You know,
Oh, here comes the real deal. This must be before he walked shit back later in the day.
also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee.
Right. And they're in the sky, so aviation, sure. Do they qualify as transportation if they're drones?
I've gotten to know people, and from
Have you? Really?
very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources. I'm going to
Yep. Know what I'm saying? Huh? Not just some jackass who's, on my nutty people to get conspiracy theories from.
tell you the real deal.
Yeah. Jamie, put the guy up on the screen with the Keebler elf guy who thinks there's a mothership parked off the East Coast. Where was the thing about that? Where the Iranians have a mothership that's actually a ship, but also because they mistreat women, doesn't have any actual mothers on it or anybody with the potential for being. Jamie, put the thing about where I get really confused. All right.
Iran launched a mothership probably about
So far away.
a month ago. That
Iran launched a mothership about a month ago.
contains these drones. That mothership is off. I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've
No, it's not.
launched drones. Is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly.
So, yeah, it's a high source. So let me get this straight. Some asshole at some place, somewhere, told you that there's an Iranian mothership parked off the east coast of the United States and that they're launching drones into the air that have landing lights and are obeying all FAA rules. Just, as you would expect a massive spying drone attack to do.
Now, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyist or hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology.
Yeah, they do. You can make it. You can 3D print a high altitude drone in your fucking garage.
But let's pretend that's possible.
Let's do that. How about this? Let's pretend Iran has a mothership.
The possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology.
Really? Wait a minute. Hold on. Multiple motherships? Should I look up motherships on Alibaba?
In order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they
would get fired for being dipshits?
Are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones...
Why? Why? Why in the ever-loving shit would they why would it be necessary? What are they worried about? That the Biden administration is going to fire them for talking about this? You think the Trump administration would just hire them back again and give them a hero's welcome in like a month and a half? What the fuck are you talking about?
Be shot down.
All right, that's Representative Jeff Van Drew. Now, you heard what he was very emphatic about. There was no mystery. The drones. But what does the Pentagon have to say? Here's their response to what's happening in New Jersey.
Let me guess. They admit to having their own mothership.
At this time, we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Can you rule out that these are American drones or U.S. military drones?
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air.
And also an asshole and a moron, for the record. I mean, I would just hate to... I mean, it's on his Wikipedia page at this point. It has to be.
They're saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States.
How do you repeat that and not feel like a complete dickhead as a reporter. He said this. I mean, at least giggle.
Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
Okay, so somebody's not telling the truth here.
Let me guess. Who are you going to trust more? The woman who is speaking on behalf of the Department of Defense saying definitively from her mouth, that's not happening, or the guy going, I don't know, I know some people, they don't want to tell you who they are, they won't say their names, but they said that a mothership is parked off the east coast of here's a good idea. Go to Best Buy, buy a drone, and fly it out over the water on the East Coast and see if you could find this fucking thing.
Ed, I mean, absolutely, and then no, but don't worry. Local law enforcement, when the Pentagon says local law enforcement, they got it. Ed, help me understand.
Well, I mean, let's say you ask the Pentagon spokesperson about I don't know, street racers. Well, I heard that South Korea is delivering vehicles to the United States, and those vehicles are ending up being used by street racers all over the place, and they're souping them up and using them on American soil. And I believe this is an attack from South Korea, and you could tell because they're racing around neighborhoods late at night and taking over intersections. What say you? And the Pentagon would go, that sounds like something for traffic police to deal with. I think they would hand out tickets or maybe revoke their license, or I don't know why you're asking me this, you weirdo.
So first things first, Sabrina Singh is a horrible liar. Some of the government officials are better than others at lying, but you can see right through that. I'm just going to give you a little bit of fighter pilot's take on drones, what we know, what we can see. By the way, the solution to this entire thing is to bring Tony Soprano back. I'm sure he can handle all the problems in New Jersey.
I think that's a Jersey joke in general.
Including the drone situation, but from a
Gene the Jesus Machine is for mafia bosses that beat their rivals to death. You know, what would Jesus do if somebody encroached on his fucking territory and tried to move in on his prostitution ring?
I can just see Tony Soprano in his backyard with a shotgun. And a bourbon, just taking care of business.
Yeah.
But since we don't have that fictional.
Yeah, and then he fires it. I'm great. Thanks for wasting our time. So he shoots the drone, which is of reasonable size, it would seem, and it lands on who? Who's it? Okay, never mind.
World to rely on. We have to rely on the actual government and our Department of Defense, because after all, our Department of Defense is there to defend our country. And I don't know, maybe foreign aircraft over New Jersey is kind of a big deal. So let's take a little fighter pilot's view. Some of you know I was an F-18 pilot for much of my life, had one of the highest clearances in the military, knew basically everything about aerial aircraft and what we were doing in those spaces. And so
and none of that has changed in 10 years. There has not been an uptick in any technology in the last decade at all. It's all the same shit.
Let's talk about how aircraft get identified. Now, I'm going to use the word POO, but it's not the way you think it is. POO is a three-letter acronym. Military likes three-letter acronyms. That stands for Point of Origin. Now, there are three identifications that a fighter pilot or an identifying aircraft will give to an unknown aircraft. One of those identifications will be unknown, or what we call bogey. Another one will be called bandit. What bandit means to us is that is actually
It's an enemy aircraft.
Enemy aircraft, but it has no hostile intent.
Yes, please tell us something we can't all have already memorized from watching Top Gun.
And then the third and the most lethal would be hostile. If we get a targeted hostile, what that means is that we're going after it and we're going to go shoot it down. Now, how does the military know which aircrafts are bogey, bandits, or hostile? One of the things that we understand is called POO. Pilots call it POO. It's Point of Origin. our military knows where things come from. That's why we have radar detectors. That's why we have infrared detectors. Certainly across our shoreline, definitely at military bases. And so when an aircraft, even an aircraft as small as a drone, comes from something, the military typically knows where it comes from. And by the way, if they don't, the FAA has radars all over the eastern seaboard that we can interface with, and they'll know where those things are. So let me just say definitively.
That's how they know it's not coming from a ship off the East Coast.
The government knows where these aircraft came from. And certainly if they came from some mothership off the East Coast, they know that too. I will tell you.
They would definitely know that, which is how they know they aren't coming from there. It is much harder for the radar systems in New Jersey to pick up the point of origin of a drone flying from somebody's fucking garage than it would coming over the sea. That's how they, that's exactly why they know it's not coming from a mothership, besides the fact that Iran doesn't have motherships, you fucking weirdo.
They're lying. Now, what's true? I'm not sure between the senator or between the representatives' comments, between DoD. We actually don't know. What I can tell you is it's not a hobbyist. It's not a group of people just testing out things. There's something legitimate about this claim from the representative.
Based on what? What do you mean there's something legitimate? You've seen videos online and those videos actually exist? You don't even have to get to the point of what the fuck is actually in the video, because the DOD came out, the Pentagon came out and said, we've checked and a lot of those line up with what the FAA flight path is for helicopters and airplanes in the area. Small light craft. And actual big planes. And people are feeling, oh my God, that thing flew right over. Like, yeah, it's here every week, dum-dum. But I heard about these drones. That's because you never look up unless somebody gives you a reason to. And then suddenly you're setting all the lights in the sky because you live in fucking New Jersey.
There's something illegitimate about what the Department of Defense is saying right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, like what? Don't absolutely. Fuck you, Gene. Don't absolutely. What? What's illegitimate?
And you bring up a great point. That
Oh, does he?
part of the country is so densely populated. There is an immense amount of radar because there's planes going in and out. Covering that eastern seaboard is massive, and we would have the technology. But
right. That's why the Pentagon rep said definitively there's not a ship parked off the East Coast, and these things aren't coming from it. You understand? The only way these things are flying around, what few there actually are people fucking around with them in the States already. Even the dude who was arrested for flying one over the, over Vandenberg and trying to fly one over Langley was doing it in the country and was launching it from a fucking park.
Let's go to that bastion of truth, Dan Bongino, and let me show you what he had to say. Watch.
They know exactly who owns these drones.
How big are they? How big are they? These aren't Reaper drones. How big are they? Are they quadcopters? Are they, are they airplane style? How big are they? Just one. I don't need all of them. Just one. 95% that it's China or some foreign adversary. Jesus Christ. Imagine your entire intellect falling into a 5% category.
And what they're doing in the sky. But they
I think they're hovering.
don't want to tell you for a reason.
What would that reason be?
The reason is the United States government and the deep staters involved in it, they don't want to scare you with their own inadequacy. Folks, I'm telling you right now.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't they just knock them down then? Even then, just don't let them hang around. You could do it quietly. Get rid of them.
Oh, they know who these.
You didn't even have to announce it. Well, you never saw anything. And then you stop seeing them because they've all been shot down, or they gather the people up quietly.
Drones belong to. We are at real risk here. Our airspace is not secure. They don't know what to do with these drones. And, I said bottom line up front, so I hate teases because they're for morons. Oh, stay tuned later in the show. If you like the show, you'll stay no matter what. I'm 95% sure, if not more, it's China or some foreign adversary.
Because Americans don't know how to make and fly drones. We're too stupid.
All right, so I'll get a follow-up with you, Ed, on that. Of course, Dan is pretty much saying right along the same lines of what you're saying.
No, he isn't.
Why wouldn't the military just go ahead and shoot it down?
You're asking me? So,
I am.
Yeah, give us a good reason. Obviously, there's no good reason not to. So tell us why they would shoot it down. Yeah.
First of all, stay tuned because we're going to cover that later in the show. No, we'll cover it right now. And so let's just talk about drone technology. So right now we're putting a lot of money in our country into F-35s and F-22s. Full disclosure, I was part of the F-35 project when I was in the military. I think the airplane is great. Certainly cost too much, did not deliver on its technology, but generally speaking, the concept is great. That said, a single F-35 against 100 drones simply won't win. One of those will get through. We're in a completely different battlefield now, a completely autonomous battle.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's grab that one. We did that. We covered the other one this morning. We didn't know about them. Open link in new tab. Drones flying over New Jersey. U.S. News and World Center posts video of drones flying over New Jersey as concerns grow. That's Forbes. And this is 3 hours ago. So here we go. So let's go through the actual on the drone stuff, shall we? So let's start here. Boink. Mystery. Get out of here. Mystery drones over New Jersey and nearby states. Possible drone sightings now reported in Connecticut. Updating. This is live. Very exciting. For weeks, citizens across New Jersey, as well as New York, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut, have reported seeing clusters of drone-like objects flying in the low in the sky at night. Yet information remains scarce. Even as state officials now say they've seen the drones firsthand, received mixed information from federal agencies, and pushed the FBI for answers. Key facts. Tony Huang released a statement Friday saying they were sightings of possible unauthorized drones in Fairfield, Connecticut, saying the state must be proactive, not reactive, in getting answers, even if it means shooting drones down. Michael Mellum, the mayor of Belleville, New Jersey, the ironically named Belleville, told Fox News the state's Office of Emergency Management urged him to immediately call the county bomb squad if there was a downed drone nearby, and that the fire department was instructed to wear hazmat suits around any fallen drone, saying it's unclear if the drones have a payload, which is why, by the way, you don't shoot them down. You take them over. The Pentagon has... Can I... Oh, shit. Can we just not... All right. Let's see. Sorry. Let's see. See the drone shield. Yeah, here you go. The Drone Gun Mark III lightweight compact countermeasure. See this guy right here? Let me shrink this in so you guys can see it. Boink. The Drone Gun is a compact, lightweight UAS countermeasure solution designed for one-handed operation. The product features a robust, compact pistol-shaped design, beg your pardon. The control panel user interface allowing operators to select and engage RF disruption frequency modes. The device provides a safe passive countermeasure against a wide range of UAS models. When disruption is triggered, a UAS, e.g. a drone, will typically respond via a vertical controlled landing on the spot or return back to the operator controller starting point. RF, which when it has a bomb on it, is one of the ways you can kind of take, you can return it to sender. I agree. I do need a good director on here. Eventually, we'll get there when I have my own real studio. Come on. Like, subscribe, share the show. Let's do this. RF disruption activation may also interfere with live video streaming, the first-person video stuff, so they can't see the image of where they're looking. You can stop it, right? Drone Shield's CUAS defeat capabilities do not involve protocol manipulation or cyber tactics. Given the limitation of those methods, our defeat technologies offer non-kinetic disruption of controlled management threats. Basically, like hitting reset on them. But yeah, here's a product video of it. Look at that. Drone Shield doing the thing in the middle of nowhere. Bad guy coming around with the thing, walking in the thing, and the bad guy's got the drone. And we're fired up, flying into space, and he just wants to take pictures of his garden. Bad guy flying the drone, and he's like, aha, I will destroy you and your lovely Connecticut weeds. Uh-oh. People are hiking, and there's a man trying to do downskirt videos. There it is. Fuck that. He's swearing, I guess. All right, let's see. Dial in that number. Completely passive. No RF emissions. I know exactly what it is, so I know it doesn't have any arms on it, and I learn everything about it. Drone shield, fire in the drone shield, bang, and make the thing land on the. Hey, what the hell? Dude stole my drone. Son of a bitch. Drone Shield stealing drones from the bad guys. Zamma damma ding dong bam. So yeah, we have like that's those things are, you could purchase those things. Do you think the military and Homeland Security might have a couple of those? Yes. Did you go to the danger zone? Yeah. Highway to the danger zone. All right, so Phil Murphy repeated his call for federal support. Why can we just send the Drone Shield? Doesn't have a cock thing on it, but it should. I think all rifle-like arms should have a cockable lower handle. That's a word. Just because it's fun. You know what I mean? Drone Shield. So, many New Jersey drone sightings are legal manned aircraft, White House says. You don't say. I looked at it. Okay. In the week since the first sighting, social media posts have spread, with one describing the drones as large and loud. Many users have posted videos showing lit objects hovering in the night sky. Like helicopters, maybe? Okay. Is this some Facebook post somebody put online? Yeah, there it is. Morris County, okay. Morris County Prosecutor's Office, there's no known threat to public safety. That's, hello. I don't know. Why is that okay, so this is the post. Last night, drone activity was observed by law enforcement members on patrol in Morris County. Along with our federal investigator, there's no known threat to public safety. The joint statement is being issued in response to rumors that the drone activity is spreading on social media. We encourage the public to be mindful that that what they read online may not be accurate. What? Let's see. A New Jersey police chief, again, maybe later. New Jersey police chief in a press conference described the drones as the size of a car and bigger than the standard drones available for amateur drone flyers. Sightings have been occurring nightly for the past 2 weeks, beginning just after sunset and lasting well into the early morning hours. And humming and the noise. Okay, so is there? Please have the. Yeah. Let's do this.
Yeah, so last night, starting around 8 o'clock, we started receiving multiple calls from residents about drone activity in the area. Officers went out to investigate. The calls and the sightings continued from 8 o'clock to about 11:15 last night, when then the drone activity moved away from us into Cherry Hill. We had varying reports of anywhere between 4 to 8 drones that were flying through the area. They weren't like the normal, drone that somebody would purchase and use in their home. They were large. Some were described as large as like an SUV. had blinking lights on them.
You mean like a helicopter?
You know, we checked the area, we monitored their activity, and up until they left the area. We contacted State Police, Regional Operations Center, to make notification to them of the activity, and also to try to determine, you know, who is operating these drones. At this time, we're still investigating. We have,
or indeed, if they are drones, you know what? Fuck it. It's the jump to conclusions hour.
no information of who the drones belong to, what their purpose.
Excuse me. There is an Iranian mothership parked off the East Coast. Who the fuck do you think they belong to?
Was. We are looking.
Jamie, where's that drone I bought on Etsy for the show? Is the promo thing or whatever? It's about the size of an SUV. Yeah, and it smells like beef jerky. Bring up the video of the drone I bought on was it Etsy? Alibaba, right?
Looking at possible connections to northern New Jersey that's experiencing the same type of incidents. But we do ask anyone with information about, you know, who's operating these drones, the identity of the drones. They seem to be, you know, larger than, you know, the hobbyist, and due to the number
Seem to be. Maybe they're just closer.
of them, as well, would, you know, classify as most likely not a hobbyist that's out doing these.
Chief, we know this has been going on in North Jersey. I'm curious, what was your reaction when you heard reports here in Asia?
I mean, there's definitely concern. I mean, you know, if it, you know, we do get reports of drone activity, but they're usually like, you know, ones you purchase, you know, you operate. Last night
The peeping Tom model.
it was interesting just because of the wind that was present. One of those small, you know, hobbyist drones wouldn't be able to fly. These larger, you know, I guess
Well, it depends on how high they are. Never mind.
professional drone activity that was out there gave greater concern, especially in their ability to navigate the weather.
Any idea who is behind it and what the point of it is?
No, he already said that.
What are they doing?
He already said that.
We don't know. I mean, they were operating throughout the township last night, and then moved into Cherry Hill, ultimately heading towards Philadelphia. No,
Which I think shows, you know, class on their part.
we don't know. I mean, they have to be landing somewhere. They're very large.
Sure.
And you know, I know we're working with the state police and ultimately with federal authorities to try to figure that out.
And lastly, for me, how about the other chiefs in South Jersey? Because I saw I'm in all these different community forums, and, you know, everyone's talking about this in different towns. Are you working with the chiefs across the region?
We are, yeah. We're working with, I know Mount Laurel received complaints last night, Cherry Hill received complaints last night, and Medford Township received complaints last night.
Of everybody in the surrounding area seeing the exact same thing. Okay, the other thing was, let's see this. Multiple drones enter airspace at New Jersey Naval Station. This was the second, this is a few days ago. Multiple instances of drone entering airspace at a Navy weapons station in New Jersey. Said Friday, as the concern continues to grow over widespread drone sightings in the region, Naval Weapons Station Earl, which is located in Colts Neck, New Jersey. The fun names just to keep coming. Said it was aware of the sightings in the region and continues to closely coordinate with federal and state agencies. Okay, there's a, while no direct threats to the installation, there's a picture of the sign out front in case you ever want to drive there and you're like, yep, that's the place. The base did not say when the incidents had happened. I mean, I guess. Okay, all right. Expressed growing concern about the drone reports in New Jersey in a letter to Joe Biden shared on Friday when asking about more resources to fully understand what is behind the activity. New Jersey residents deserve more concrete information about the UAS sightings. Oh, they're going straight to UFO territory. Senator Andy Kim was sworn into office this week, spent Thursday night in Hunterdon County, which neighbors Somerset, where he said he saw dozens of drones in a 2-hour period. People deserve answers. Kim told, this is the guy who's replacing Menendez. We don't need a conspiracy theories or conjecture. We need assurance that the people charged with keeping us safe are on top of the issue and a line of communication. Reiterate his calls. We were at an urgent concern because of an unmanned thing. That looks more like a comet to me, but sure. There's the Picanti Arsenal military base. Here's the Trump National Golf Club. Where temporary drone flight restrictions are in place. Okay, so you can't fly around here. You can't fly around here. And it's temporary, though. So this generalized area, you're not allowed to fly drones for the time being. So have they stopped seeing them since the moratorium was put on there? I don't know.
Field. And my guess is the American military simply
Oh, good. He's guessing now.
has not adjusted because of DEI, because of poor leadership, frankly.
Yeah, too many black people and gays are getting in positions of authority. So those people are, the thing about trans people when they get into the military, they're super pro drone for some reason.
Because we were trying to put people out of the military who wouldn't get a shot or put 7 masks on. Whatever the priority was, my guess is that we're not as strong as we need to be. I don't think there's comes as any surprise to the Flashpoint listeners that this is a particular issue. So
No, that's just a lie and fucking weird, and there's no relation to it. And the correlation attempt in this particular case and the inference that these people are somehow, because they are diverse compared to the standard military personnel, that somehow they are less caring about the impact of these things is just, it's bearing false witness, I guess. So, I maybe say, keep talking shit if you want to, but get the fuck off of Flashpoint, I think is the theory.
Regional aircraft cannot defeat 100, 1,000, or 10,000 drones. We do have an air defense.
Sure. Nor would you use it for that.
Defense system on the East Coast.
Also, there are not 100 or a dozen or 1,000 drones.
It is very robust.
Also, quadcopters could never catch an F-14, much less an 18 or a prototype 35.
Well, as you mentioned, Gene, the airspace, we as pilots, we call this airspace Bosnia wash. So from Boston all the way through New York, Pennsylvania, all the way through to Washington is the single most populated airspace literally in the entire world. And the radar coverage there is massive. So like I said, we know who these are. I think Dan is absolutely...
More to the point, we know who they aren't.
Absolutely right. The government leaders right now are hedging because we don't have adequate protection for our civilian population because of mismanagement.
Well,
or there's nothing to protect anyone from.
Let's go back.
You know what? Screw it. They're probably going to start dropping bombs any day now on New Jersey and spreading a zombie virus. But luckily, we have dipshits like this that if they do have a biological weapon on board and they want this to, these drones are going to spread this disease, at least we can make sure that these assholes will slow roll the American response.
2022. I want to show you this. No, you know what? Before we do that, let me show you this clip.
Yeah, we don't have that clip.
This is from News Nation, and I like New Jersey State Representative Brian Bergen. I want you to see what he had to say about the briefing he had to drive to. Just 30 seconds. Watch.
All right, so you're here today. You were just inside. You walked out. Why?
I walked out because it was worthless. It was the biggest amateur hour presentation I've ever seen about anything. Okay, it was ridiculous. There were no answers. Every question that was asked by a member of the state legislature, great questions, no answers, no resolution. They don't know where the drones are coming from. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know why they're doing it. But they say there's no credible threat. It was annoying to be there. I drove 2 hours to be here today.
Boo fuckity who. Maybe stay to the end if you drove all that way. Maybe they eventually will get around to some of the information. Or it may be that they are giving you an answer. Not knowing where it's coming from, but knowing where it's not coming from is still an answer. If you can eliminate threats and possible threats externally, that's news. That matters. And again, it makes the difference between the DOD and the Pentagon being, responsible for making sure that somebody doesn't pierce our airspace with aircraft. But then if that's not what's happening, it's a different group of people who are in charge of it. Right? So you put those people in charge of it, and then they start looking, they start investigating it. Jesus. Boring.
And an hour in there, I got to drive 2 hours back.
Who fuckity who? Do your job.
Biggest waste of 5 hours in my entire life.
Then zoom in next time.
You got to love that guy, Luke.
I also doubt it.
I mean, everybody can identify with what he's going through. He's entirely frustrated with that, and nobody.
No, they can't. Maybe, just maybe, I would have loved to seen what his question was. Because I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I think his question was probably stupid. And he drove 2 hours to, when his moment came, waste everybody's time with either a question that had already been asked and answered, or to hammer down on some political bullshit so he could film himself yelling at somebody from the federal government to build points among maggots and then drive home again. I mean, he might as well be a fucking Instagram influencer. Right? Who cares? Because I got to tell you, if you drive 2 hours, show up, and then and when it happens, when you get a chance to ask a question, or deal with this, if they can eliminate that it's not coming from an Iranian mothership, and the ones that are here are taken off from land, and we've got state and local law enforcement on it because it's their purview. Because it's not going high enough to enter like Class A airspace, and it's not close to any of these bases anymore. It's just flying around neighborhoods. There's not. I mean, could they be spying on heads of industry or people in their homes? Or sure, whatever the fuck. But if it's not violating military airspace, and it's not, it's not known to be spying on anything, and it's an FAA violation, then it's minor to the locals. Tough shit. I don't know what to tell you. You can panic all you want.
Nobody tells them anything. What do you think, Luke? This whole thing, you've been listening.
Well, yeah, I'm not a fighter pilot, and I don't play one on TV either, so, my knowledge is going to be a little lacking here. But what I will say is just an observation that a lot of these things sound very familiar from when we saw the CCP fly their balloon over the U.S. mainland over key strategic military bases just a few short months ago. We kind of heard the same thing from the Biden administration, and I agree with all the people that say we know exactly what this is and we know where it's coming from, because the Biden administration would have to go out there and explain why it's here in the first place. I don't think that
What's it? It what? Which ones? All of them? Some of them? Good Lord.